like your mic was a little bit low when we were talking.
Ryan, you don't listen to the game on your way home and as you're going out.
I get a text from him every Friday night.
I was just to say, Gregory, who do you think you are with these accusations?
I'm asking.
I do, man. I do, actually.
I am asking questions.
I listen as far as I can carry it with me to Hattiesburg, yeah.
You go to Hattiesburg every night?
Nah, not every night. Most nights, though.
That's right.
The things you do for love, right?
And they get old like me and across the street's too far.
You ain't got us live. Steven Sullivan.
Like, it's all the way over there.
Who's that?
Seinfeld's on.
You want your feed?
Yeah.
Week off, couldn't find anybody to play. Again, we.
All right, once again, we've got our Great Southern Bank Coaches Show. Brock Clay, head football coach of the West Lauderdale Knights. It feels like it's been forever since we've had a chance to talk, Brock.
Yeah, we got to take last week off, not by choice, but we got to take last week off. Couldn't find anybody to play. Again, we called all over the state. I thought we had a game with Ridgeland. And, call it weather, call it, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But they wouldn't play when it come game time. So, ended up being a beautiful night for football last Friday night. It was a beautiful night for football last Thursday night. But either way, didn't have an opponent last week, and look forward to playing tonight.
Looking over the last couple of weeks, I guess you could take it twofold. You really want to play like we did whenever we went up and played Tupelo, but at the same time, you're taking on a team this week that it might have given you a chance to prepare maybe a little longer. For this Louisville team?
Definitely wasn't a hurt. Biggest game of the year, definitely. We talked about it at the beginning. This game and the week against Neshoba were two games that we all look forward to, players and coaches alike. And, it did work out what we knew about Wednesday that, we weren't going to get to play on Friday night. So we turned everything towards Louisville and got a couple extra practices in on Louisville scheme and that type of things.
We'll talk more about Louisville in just a little bit. I want to go back to the last 2 weeks that you have actually been able to play. You put up 40-plus points in both of those ball games against Southeast Lauderdale and League Central, and been able to basically play reserves in a lot of those ball games, maybe even 4 quarters for some of them for the last couple of weeks. How important is that to be able to maybe even sub some in the next couple of weeks and still have that experience coming in as a sub?
Well, that's kind of pro and con there, Lee. You look at it this way, we wanted to get kids more reps than what we actually did in those 2 games. But, we ended up with situations where I still hadn't figured this out yet of how this works out that way. But, I was told at the beginning of both halves, second halves, that we're going to run the clock. Well, generally I thought I was supposed to get an opinion on that. Anyway, we got to you got told we were going to run the clock, so, it gets real difficult when you got a clock, especially like last week at Lee's Central, where it was ran through kicks, it was ran through extra points, it was ran through timeouts, it was ran all together. And that's shortened some kids some opportunity to play. I'm all for the running the clock concept. I'm not when play is stopped, still running the clock. It does make it very difficult to get some of these kids opportunities that they need and game-type reps that they deserve. So very apologetic on some of that. Not that, again, one of those situations really didn't have a lot of control over. So, but that is the way the last two games ended up. But did get a lot of kids a lot of reps, just not as many as we really wanted to get.
Offensively, though, you've got to be pleased the way your offense has been able to take control of the ball game from the get-go. and get a big separation between the two schools?
Oh, absolutely. The last 2 weeks we came out. We've played two really good ball games, in my opinion, and the coaches' opinions. We were really clicking. That's kind of why we really wanted to continue playing last week and push so hard to find a game. Don't know how it would have come out. That's why we played the game. But we felt real good about the way we were clicking and the way things were progressing for us offensively and defensively.
Speaking of offensive, for your particular team, you're facing a very, very stingy defense in Tyrone Shorter's Louisville Wildcats. What have you been able to see over the last few weeks, maybe the last couple of weeks, from this Tyrone Shorter team?
The front's most of the same guys that played here last year, so we're very familiar with them. The two inside tackles are returning. The two defensive ends, they both played last year. Defensive end, they did graduate one guy off that front, but I think I told you last year, we'll be okay as long as they don't figure out a way to put all three of them on the field. And I'll be darned if when we got out there on the field on Friday night, they had all three defensive ends on the field that night. So 27 ended up playing the rest of the season there at the outside linebacker and basically being a fifth down lineman when they went into that look. He's back. They did lose one of the big kids as one of the big ends from last year. Did lose a middle linebacker who was the best football player in the best defensive player in the district last year. And I told Coach Shorter one night this week when we talked that I thought he replaced him with a meaner one. So, wow. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say he's better than the one from last year. The one from last year was really, really good football player, but he is very physical and very tough inside there.
Last year, facing this same team, Louisville Wildcats, both teams high scoring, but not allowing much points on the defensive side, and it was that way during the ball game as far as not allowing much points. It was 0-0 for the longest, right?
Yes, sir, it was. It was a 12-0 ball game, and I think we had some opportunities we missed, and that makes it a different ball game for this or that reason. I just could never get a real break like we kind of needed at different points in time, whether it be a block here or a costly penalty here or there, or that type thing. So, hopefully we can play a cleaner ball game and limit mistakes and hopefully come out of the thing a little bit opposite as we did last year.
Officially, the Knights are 2-0 in district play, and in the driver's seat, of course, the winner of this matchup can be in the driver's seat in that first place spot in Region 4-4A. But I do want to ask you, so we haven't discussed about injuries over the last few weeks, and this is the very important part of the season where it can make it or break a season is injuries. So tell us about where we are injury front.
Jackson had a cast for the last couple of weeks on his right thumb. It doesn't seem to be bothering him. Hadn't affected him on anything that we've been able to tell so far. I think it's becoming a prerequisite to play quarterback here at West Lauderdale with a broken opposite hand thumb. But anyway, had Austin do it a couple of years ago, and now Jackson's doing it this year for us. Dylan Williamson's got a thumb issue. Brett Busby's kind of got another little thumb issue. So we'll have a couple casts out there. But Brett doesn't have a cast on, but got some hyperextension things going on there. Other than that, it's just a little bit nitpicky, normal football type stuff. We do have the two casts, and then that's kind of all we got going on right now.
All right. Keys to win tonight's game and taking down Tyrone Shorter. He's not been taken down many times in his career there at Knoxville County as well as Louisville. So tell us some keys to win tonight's ballgame.
Hey, it's going to be a physical football game. Just like I told you against Neshoba Central, it's going to be a physical game. The team that makes the least mistakes, whether it's turn the football over, penalties, whatever bites whichever team is what's going to be the big difference in this one. You do have what many people are billing as the biggest game in district in 4A period, especially in the north. And hopefully we can live up to that.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Lee.
Got your pregame show coming up in just a matter of moments, being brought to you by All-Star Team Sports as well as Battery One Source coming up next on Q101.
In-house, the custom apparel or check out our Facebook page.
Star
Hold
2
on.
Sports, Battery One Source. Now, here's Lee and Greg to break down the opposing team and announce tonight's starters for your West Lauderdale Knights on Q101.
Well, welcome to Week 8 of the high school football season for the West Lauderdale Knights, as well as, I guess you could say, it's the 6th official week for the Louisville Wildcats, as both teams coming in here with 5 wins. West Lauderdale with 2 losses, and the Louisville Wildcats with 1. So 5-1 for Louisville, 5-2 for West Lauderdale. As once again, we're just moments away, about 20 minutes away from kicking off here the football at R.E. Hines Stadium in Louisville, Mississippi, or should I say Louisville, Mississippi. Should I say that?
I knew at some point one of us could not resist going downtown Louisville.
I don't hope that's not copywritten. But anyway, as we are just moments away from getting the game kicked off, you know, one of the things that you and I were talking about of how the Knights have had their, I guess, disappointments when it comes to playing against Tyrone Shorter. You go with the 2 games, one game with Louisville and the other games with Knoxville County. West Lauderdale has not scored a point against Tyrone Shorter's defenses.
No, we have not been able to put up a point against him, and that's at 2 different schools. If you go back to 13, he beat us 0-35. 14 was 0-33. Last year here at Louisville was 0-12. So, you know, we look lots of times at the big W, the higher score at the end, but sometimes you got to look at that little W too and take them. And if we can just come out and start putting points on the board, you get them little victories, and at the end of the night, hopefully it's going to end up a big one. But yeah, there's something about him. He's got our number somewhere.
Well, Greg, let's talk about their offense real quick. Starting offense for the Louisville Wildcats.
Starting offense is going to go like this. You got Dontavius Triplett, number 1. He's going to be a receiver. Emory James, you're going to hear his name awful lot. Number 9, he's a running back. You go down, Jarvis Rush, number 15, he's a wide receiver. You're going to hear his name a lot. 20, Nigel Anderson, tight end. 23, Jaden Triplett, he's a running back and comes in at wide receiver some. Ja'Cory Coleman, running back. 20, your line is going to go like this. Center protecting that quarterback is going to be 53, Vidashan Yarbrough. Jatavius Hayes is going to be your left tackle. Right tackle on the opposite side is going to be 63, Darian Watson. Frederick Parker, number 67, is going to be your left guard. Your right guard is going to be 78, Lenoris Hickman. And that line is going to be protecting number 10, Jace Hudspat.
Jace is a sophomore, right?
Exactly.
He looks pretty decent here. If you look at the stats alone, 733 yards in the air, 74 of 99. That's not bad for a high school quarterback, especially a sophomore, completing 74 passes of 99 attempts. But 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season, so that's what we can expect for the offense. What about defense, Greg?
On the defensive side, you're looking at Joshua Nunn, number 2, Kylan Tippett, we're going to call him KJ for the night, number 3. Number 6, Keandre Gill, he's going to help him out in that secondary. 7, Tavoris Cooper, he's going to be on that line. Shantez Thames, he's going to be a linebacker at number 13. 27, Jamarcus Island. 28, Christadius Sager. Jeffrey Smith, number 32. Looking at your line, you're going with number 50, Aquarius Taylor. 57, Amari Macon. 71, Chauncey Thames.
You mentioned the guy's name, number 6, Keandre Gill. He's got 40 solo tackles, 20 assists, 10 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, leads the entire team in most of those categories, 60 total tackles, and leads that by far. The next one that's coming in second is Jeff Smith with 41 tackles. So look out for Keandre Gill tonight against our West Lauderdale Knight offense. All right, that is your offense and defense for the Louisville Wildcats. We're going to come back in just a few short seconds and give you the offense and defense for the West Lauderdale Knights as we continue the pregame show being brought to you by All-Star Team Sports as well as Battery One Source. We'll come back also with the FCA Pep Talk being brought to you by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville next on Q101.
Performance.
We're moments away, about 8 minutes away from kicking off this huge contest between the two schools, West Lauderdale and Louisville Wildcats. Both teams, once again, coming in 2-0 in district play. As we just announced the starters for the Louisville Wildcats, we're going to get that same thing going on with the West Lauderdale Knights. Greg, you got those starters?
Yeah. All right. Looking at that, we got Brett Busby going to be a wide receiver on the offense.
Greg, I'm going to put you on pause. We're about to honor a moment of silence as well as the national anthem here at Louisville.
Yeah, I wait till
Once
the
again,
7
a moment of
o'clock
silence
retired,
as well as
kicks
the
in to
national
start
anthem
really building my
here
brakes.
at Louisville. Once again, the national anthem here at R.E. Hines Stadium. Greg, as we were just about to say, let's go over those starters for the West Lauderdale Knights, offensively as well as defensively.
All right, on the defense, you got number 3, Dylan Brown. Number 4, Zach Walker. Number 6, Jordan Nix. Number 12, Mcneil, who is having an amazing year. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 17, Braden Epting. 24, Jet Calvert. Commandre Cole, big man up front. Isaiah Combs right there with him. Both guys like to get behind that line. 42, Dylan Williamson. And Eli Bates is helping out on that line. On the offense, we got number 55, Logan Johnson. 54, Lane Williams. 68, Will Weathers. Javion Merrill, number 70, 75, Paxton George. That's going to be your line. And then coming on up, you got 44, Gunnar Knapp. 36, Eli Cagle. 22, Cooper Luke. 20, Josh Randall. Wyatt Castle, number 7. And Brett Busby is going to be another wide receiver at number 1. Then your quarterback is going to be number 5, Jackson Parker.
All right, captains are meeting at midfield. West Lauderdale captains are number 68, Will Withers, number 38, Mon Cole, number 62, Eli Bates, number 70, Javion Merrill. I'll try to get you the captains for the Louisville Wildcats real quick. Number 58, Jatavius Hayes. Number 27 is Jamarcus Island. And number 7 is Tavoris Cooper. And one more, if you'll turn his way toward me, I believe that is number 4. Conte Roach, I believe that's number 4. Those are your captains for both squads. West Lauderdale, I believe, won the coin toss, and they will kick off to begin tonight's action. So the Louisville Wildcats, who are wearing maroon on maroon, will be receiving the football, moving right to left on your radio, while the West Lauderdale Knights wearing their black helmets, white jerseys, and black pants as well. This is one of those games that you really want to be able to leave this game saying we've done 2 things, actually 3. We've done 2 things. First of all, we scored on Tyrone Shorter.
Right.
we've beaten Tyrone Shorter,
Right.
and we're walking away from this game tops in the district.
Exactly.
So those are three things that you can say just by winning tonight's football game. That's the first two are mental.
Right.
Because it can always eat at you as like, why can't we defeat Tyrone Shorter? Dating back to Knoxville County as well as here at Louisville.
And like I said earlier, we always look at that big W as far as who had the most points on the scoreboard at the end, but it's those little bitty W's that are huge going from week to week.
Right. Stephen, I'm going to bring you in here real quick. I know you're doing computer duties and camera duties and everything like that, but we're streaming once again, video streaming as well. Tell us how somebody that maybe listen on the radio that they can actually get some video to go along with it.
Yeah, you can go online to youtube.com/Tornado Athletics, or you can go to Facebook to our West Lauderdale Knights football page. We have it shared out there as well.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Both teams have broken their sideline or their respective end zones, and just moments away from getting this thing kicked off. Once again, R.E. Hines Stadium in Louisville, Mississippi, has the Cats on the middle of the field. Knights have been a couple weeks from playing. Last week, the Wildcats of Louisville took on the Choctaw Central Warriors, defeated the Warriors 35-3. Back on October 2nd, defeated Northeast Lauderdale 53-13. November 25th, they defeated Yazoo City 28-0. September 18th, defeated Shannon 21-8. Only loss coming from September 11th against Starkville 24-14. And the first week of the season defeated Columbus 13-0. Kickoff comes back down to the 27-yard line. Fair catch is called. And that's where the Louisville Wildcats will set up shop, scoring 164 points on the season, only giving up 48.
And
not bad.
And that's a number you really have to look at. I mean, giving up 48 points all year long, and if you go back and look now, Starkville, that was 24 points they gave up. Just right there, one game was half of that 48, so you got to hand it to their defense as well. So tonight may be a huge defensive battle between the squads.
Sophomore quarterback at the helm, Jace Hudspeth, wearing number 10. He'll have a back to his left, a big H back to that left side of the line, a receiver to the left and a receiver to the right. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. And Hudspeth will hand it off to his running back, number 9. Maybe a yard, maybe two. We'll see where the official marks him. I believe a 2-yard gain. Number 9 is Emory James, junior running back for the Louisville Wildcats. And it is a gain of 2.
Yeah, Emory is one of the ones that leads them on the ground, or D1, 547 yards, 8 TDs. So he's the guy that when you get anywhere near him and the ball together, you've got to watch that end zone.
Second down, 8 to go. 2 receivers on the left, 2 receivers on the right. An attempted pass completion under number 14, going to be near the sticks. And somehow that ball came free, but there was a Johnny on the spot there that picks it up and gets forward progress to give the Louisville Wildcats a first down. What do you see there, Greg?
Yeah, Jaden Triplett, number 23. As soon as that ball popped out, he was Johnny on the spot, ready. And, sometimes it's being in that right spot at the right time, and sometimes you wonder how much of this goes into the week.
First down and 10 from the 41, moving right to left. Quarterback will go under center after moving a strip set of receivers to the right. Pitch off to his running back, Mr. James. He goes off to the far side to the 45. Maybe coming back. It's to midfield, crosses midfield to the opposing 45. But there is a flag at the 46-yard line of Louisville, and we have a few Wildcats, a few maroon jerseys sitting back saying, yeah, it's on us.
Yeah,
It's actually 2 flags.
Yeah, and Jace never even took a step forward. I don't think. He just went on and stayed where he was at and started walking backwards. So
It's going to be marked off from the 46-yard line. It is a holding call against the Louisville Wildcats. It'll be marked all the way back to the 36-yard line. So first down and 15. Louisville lines out with 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Quarterback Hudspeth makes completion at number 15 near the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up second down and 7. Second down and 8.
And that's one of the things I'm seeing our defense kind of give a little bit of cushion to these wide receivers, and kind of makes you nervous because you know what kind of speed they can get on you, but it does help you to stay in your position.
Not a mistake. Second down and 5 to go for the Louisville Wildcats. A bunch of receivers on this near side. Makes the completion almost picks off there. Hands batting down the attempted pass there. Going to bring up third down and 5 to go for the Louisville Wildcats. Once again, 5-1 on the season, 2-0 in district play. I don't know if many people did not circle this particular week before the season started as the game of the year for these two squads, at least in district in the regular season. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right for the Louisville Wildcats. Third down and 5. Hands off to James. James up the middle and going to be near the first down, maybe about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, the line cut him a pretty good little gap, but it was like our line just kind of funneled it up right there on him, which is what we want to see all night long.
This down is a tone setter it could be a tone setter for the remaining of the game. Tyrone Shorter says, offense, stay out there. Quarterback's going to go under center. Fourth down, 1 to go for Hudspeth. Hudspeth under center. He'll reach back and put it in the hands of number 9, and he's got it. He's got it going on to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and he'll score for the game's first touchdown of the night. 9:50 remaining here in the first quarter. Number 9, instead of getting 1, he gets 50. Emory James, junior running back. I believe he just surpassed 600 yards on the season.
Yep.
Number 85. Is that 86? That number 86 will be your kicker, Cedric Hunt. There's the kick. Low kick. And is good. Squeaks in there for that extra point. 9:47 remains in the first. 7-0 Louisville. We'll be back on Q101.
Lauderdale Night Football.
The Louisville Wildcats have scored first here with 9:47 remaining in the first quarter. Louisville Wildcats 7, West Lauderdale 0. Knights had them fourth down and 1 there at midfield. When you stack the line of scrimmage like that, all you got to do is break that first line and you have nobody else to corral you. And James took off for 50 yards for the first score of tonight's ball game.
We had that box closed in so tight that there was really nothing there in the secondary to stop him. So, and with the speed that we just saw from him, it's going to be hard to stop him one-on-one.
Here's number 86, a low kick on the ground, score kick, and picked up at the 37-yard line. So the Knights will have decent field position. Here's number 3, Dylan Brown. Get the scoop up there on the 37, 38-yard line.
We were watching the kicking game, and we'll talk about the special teams here in a little while, but kind of was wondering about what that was going to look like, and we're seeing a lot of low kicks come out of these guys tonight, which is shocking to me.
Parker, shotgun formation. He'll hand the ball off to number 7, Wyatt Castle. Castle gets basically back up to the line of scrimmage. Castle is coming over in motion. Does pick up a yard. Second down, 9 to go. On the 37-yard line. Castle and Busby are the receivers to the right. 2 receivers as well to the left as Castle goes in motion again.
Cagle directly behind Jackson Parker. Cagle will get the handoff. No, Parker will keep it. It's up to the 40, 45, midfield. Cuts inside and then cuts back outside. It should be a late hit, but not. That's not the case. Knights will have it first down inside the Louisville Wildcat 45-yard line.
Yeah, it might be an interesting night with
Knights
this.
back up on the ball here, Greg. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Cagle with the handoff. Cagle goes straight up the middle. Maybe a yard. See what the official marks it. That's about all she wrote for Eli Cagle. Second down, 9 to go for the Knights. What was you about to say, Greg?
We've got a defense here that we were talking about earlier. They just are not letting people score all year long, all season long, but kind of starting to size them up, and I think
Knights are a tight bunch, tight trio bunch on the left-hand side of that line. Jackson Parker leans over to his right side to get the play call from offensive coordinator Daniel Knox. And relayed that message to the line. There's a snap, second down 9. Parker backpedals. And, well, how did Parker get free from that? I have no clue. Incomplete pass, though. Parker eludes the pass rush and somehow magically comes out of about 4 or 5 maroon jerseys.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we were talking a little bit about, Jackson. He's a man of so many talents. I mean, and right there we saw just a huge talent just kind of ducking down and coming underneath the arms that are up high. And that's quick thinking and quick skills right there.
Pistol formation for the Knights. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Parker backpedals, looks left, and he will go down this time, not eluding that pass rush. So bring up 4th down, actually a lose about 2 yards, 4th down and 11. They'll spot the ball on the 45-yard line as the punt team will make their way in. Number 4, Zach Walker, punter for the Knights.
We have a little short route for him there, and I see where Louisville is their defense is doing some things, and at the same time they're leaving a few of our key players open.
Number 23, Jay Triplett is your returner for the Louisville Wildcats, standing at his own 15-yard line. There's a snap. And it's blocked. It's actually, Zach Walker actually kicks into his own man, and that spells trouble for the Knights. Big time, as the Louisville Wildcats will have the football at the 45-yard line of the Knights. And basically what happened was Zach Walker kicked it into his own man.
And not the field position we wanted to see with this team by any means, but this is when your defense has to prove what they're made of, and if you want to win championships, you got to prove your championship material at different times through the years. So this is one of them times.
Once again, Wildcats lead 7-0. First series, they took it to the house 50 yards out. Here's the second series. Hudspeth, once again, number 10. Shotgun formation, however, back to his left. That's number 9, Emory James. Loaded right side for him, though. Hudspeth looking to pass, looking to go deep over the middle, and almost picked off by number 24 for the Knights. That would have been great if the Knights could have pulled that one out. Number 24 is Jet Calvert.
And Jet's a name, that's a young man we haven't mentioned a whole lot like some of the other names, but Jet has some talent there, and he's got several years with us to grow as well, and even when you look at paper, he's got great numbers.
Double receivers on each side of the line for the Louisville Wildcats. James with a handoff. Knights were keying in on him, no gain on the play. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 to go. Probably 4-down territory for the Louisville Wildcats. You got a defense over there that's laid lights out against everybody they played except for Starkville. Definitely, if they don't get it, you're sending out your trust in your defense against this West Lauderdale Knight offense if they don't get the first down here. Looking to pass is Hudspeth, and he may have to run with it. And he is tackled from behind. Number 4, Zach Walker, will bring him down. It's going to bring up 4th down and long for the Wildcats. Be a loss on the play.
I'll tell you what, Zach, he just slides in those little holes, and you don't even see him coming so many times. He loves to get back there, and a couple others with him to get that quarterback.
Wildcats will send in their punt team. This is the dangerous part of it because you got a punter who is the quarterback. So you got a throwing arm back there as well as a kicker. So always got to be looking out for the fake. Punter will be standing at his 40-yard line. A rugby-style punt. Going to go to that far sideline. And does it go out of bounds? Nope. Goes dead, though, at the 10-yard line, or near the 10-yard line. So the Knights will be backed up deep in their own territory with 5:51 remaining here in the first quarter. Once again, the Louisville Wildcats on a 50-yard touchdown run by Emory James on their first drive of tonight. The Knights here with their second drive. Got a good first down run by Jackson Parker. But following that, the Louisville Wildcats defense standing strong.
And I think we're going to see a lot of different kicking styles tonight. We've seen several different kickers come out to put, their foot on the ball there. And we saw Jace there with a great pin deep.
On the 14-yard line, I believe, Parker will hand it off to, I believe, is that number 7? Wyatt Castle?
Yes.
Coming around in a jet sweep. Not too much there, actually about a losing yard.
And this is an area of the field where, with any team, you want to be careful, but looking at the defense and a lot of tall guys out here. I knew some of the ones I saw running up, there's some height to them, but I'm seeing more and more height. And you got to really be careful with what you do here because
Parker, quarterback position, will roll out to his left, looking for, he may run. Batter's receiver overshoots his intended receiver, number 1, Brett Busby. Tried to go over the middle with it. Led him a little bit too far. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 11. Ball is spotted at the 13-yard line. Knights moving left to right. We'll have 2 receivers to this near side, 2 to the far side. Parker has a back directly behind him in a pistol formation. There's a snap. Parker looks to his left, throws left, got his receiver, overshoots his intended receiver. I believe that was number 1 again, Brett Busby. Looked to be pass interference. Did you see anything, Greg?
I thought so myself, but I'm scanning the field with everything I've got, and I cannot find some laundry for me.
Yes, it was pass interference, I believe. We did. It's just over there where we can't see it, Greg.
Yeah.
It's going to be pass interference against the Louisville Wildcats. You can't tackle them before that ball gets there, right? I don't think you can. I mean, I'm sure that referees have allowed it before, but you're not supposed to.
And that's right there, that little bit of encouragement that you need. Get you out of the end zone, get that breathing room for you.
Knights will have the ball at the 27-yard line. Parker with the quarterback keeper. He rolls off to this near side. Not much there. This is a very fast defense for the Louisville Wildcats. We're only giving up a quarter of the points that you scored, 164 points that you scored compared to 48 points given up. That's a brick wall.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm sitting here looking, thinking, do we go this route, do we go that route? Trying to come up, just run that north and south, it's going to be hard with guys that size. But
Second down and 11 to go. Parker once again in the pistol formation with Cagle directly behind him. 3 receivers to his left. Cagle gets the handoff straight up the middle. Cagle makes a guy miss and bowls over another guy. He gets up to the 34-yard line. Nice pickup. They'll bring up 3rd down and manageable now.
And that's that type of running style we like to see. I do not, I don't think we see it enough sometimes, but I like seeing that running style, picking us up some good yardage and getting us back in the game.
And that may be how the Knights have to do things, because this is a very fast defense. What do you do fast with? I mean, you just got to roll over. Parker going to take it himself again, goes to that far side, and there's a flag, maybe coming back. Parker's got near a first down, but that may be coming back. I don't know. We've seen one of the Knights pointing the opposite direction, so. Then we see the rest of the team moving their way on back. So I believe it's going to be against the Knights here. This is going to be a chop block against the Knights offense. Blocking the ball away, excuse me. I believe that was chop block against the Knights. Going to bring it back way behind the line of scrimmage. Third down. They keep going back all the way to the 19-yard line. First down to make would be at the 36-yard line, 37-yard line, excuse me. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Parker back pedals, eludes one rush, and got a receiver. Makes the connection. That is made, but not enough for a first down, but definitely gets you out of your deep into your own territory.
And it definitely helps pin them back even a little bit further when your kicking team does come out. But at the same time, a pass like that can give you that little bit of encouragement on into the game.
We see the Knights going for this. Fourth down and 4 to go for the Knights offense. They are on their own 33-yard line. Two receivers this near side and a an I formation. Parker maybe just trying to get them to go off sides, but the Louisville Wildcats hold firm. The Knights will take a timeout. 2:28 remains here in the first quarter. The Wildcats lead the Knights by 7. We'll be back on Q101.
Knights think it over and decide to put their punt team back out on the football field. Zach Walker standing at his 20. Return man for the Wildcats standing around the 32-33-yard line. High snap. Walker brings it down. High kick. Fair catch is called at the 39-yard line. So the Wildcats will have decent field position for their third drive of the game. Only score tonight came with a 50-yard touchdown run by their big-time running back, Emory James. And the Knights had them 4th down and 1 that play.
And that shows you the discipline and the practice that Coach Shorter puts into things all week long, along with his staff. I say his name a lot, but it's his staff as well. But shows you what kind of confidence they have, but also shows you what they can do.
Quarterback Hudspeth will hand it off to number 25, who's tackled in the backfield.
And
That's 40. Is that number 12? That is Mcneil. That'll be a 2-yard loss.
And there's a little bit of what we can do, or what Mick can do, what they can do.
So he's second down 13. Put the ball on the 36-yard line. Another handoff. Oh, he hit hard. Number 42, Dylan Williamson. Dylan Williamson's that running back, number 25, probably felt like running into the brick wall right there. It's Corey Coleman. Gain of 2, but still third down and 11 to go for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dylan, he has, from the day he stepped on that field, he's given us some big big hits and shots to think about.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left for the Wildcats. And number 25 remains in the game. He flanks the quarterback to his left. Hudspeth looking to his left, got his receiver, and does he make the complete? No, incomplete pass. Nice breakup, number 17, Braden Epton.
Yeah, Braden,
A man of all different types of traits.
yeah, and Braden come in there and got in there just right. I'm not sure if he got hand in there or how well he may have gotten hand in there, but that ball just rolled right up over that shoulder pad and almost got a pickup from a white jersey, but
Epting is your punt returner, standing at his own 30, while the punter for the Wildcats is number 10, Jace Hudspeth. Quarterback, early movement looked to be for the Wildcats. And Coach Tyrone Shorter was very upset. Are they saying early movement against the Knights? It looked like early movement against the offense. But
that's what I thought.
nonetheless, it's 4th down and 6 now. Punt team will remain in the game. But once again, it's always scary when you see your quarterback as the punter. There's a snap on the rugby-style punt for the Wildcats. It goes away from the punt returner, and it's going to pin the Knights once again deep in our own territory around the 15-yard line. 58 seconds remain in the first. And West Lauderdale 0, Louisville 7. But the Knights defense, I'll tell you what, after that, just that one play, they gave up the lone touchdown. This has been a defensive battle here for the first 12 minutes of the game.
I would just like to point out, I did call out one thing right this year.
There is a flag back here at basically behind the line of scrimmage where the punt took place, and I believe that I'm not sure, but this is going to be going against the Wildcats here. Yes. They'll back it up to the 38-yard line. So a re-kick it is. But the last two times they punted the football, they punted away from the punt returner and onto their sideline to punt our Knights deep in our own territory.
And watch that ball when it hits. It's almost like there's something invisible stopping it.
So Jace Hudspeth now standing at his own 25-yard line. Braden Epting gets the clue and goes to that right side. Well, Hudspeth is going to punt it to the other side. Punt it away from Epting, and it's going to take a little bounce and into around the 34-yard line. Knights have decent field position.
Yeah, just real quick while we're getting reset, their special teams coordinator, as well as their running back coach for Louisville, is Corey McCullough. And if you go back years and years ago, you'll remember me mentioning him when he played here at Louisville. Set record after record after record. Went to Alcorn, set some more records. But the kicking style I'm seeing out of Jace is a lot like his.
Parker, shotgun, hand the ball off to, I believe that's Collins. Goes off tackle, gets a couple yards, maybe about 3. 2nd down, 7 to go.
And you know, like you said earlier, little chunks here and there. That's probably going to be what it takes from us tonight to get something going here.
Two receivers to the right, two to the left. The receivers are to the right. Number 1, Brett Busby. Number 22, Cooper Luke. And Wyatt Castle slot to the opposite side, and I believe that is Josh Randall, opposite wide out. And Jackson Parker has trouble with the football, and this may be going in the hands of a Wildcat. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, I believe that there was some.
The Knights will keep possession of the football, but that was trouble brewing. That's the first 12 minutes in the books. Once again, the Wildcats lead the Knights by a score of 7-0. We'll be back with the second quarter coming up next on Q101.
at Louisville at R.E. Hines Stadium. Kind of hard to read now, but it's got a little dark there. R.E. Hines Stadium here in Louisville, Mississippi. Knights and the Wildcats fighting for district lead in Region 4-4A.
And one more thing, Lee, while we're waiting on them to get reset, there's another battle going on kind of closer to us there in Decatur. Newton County is taking on Richland. That's the only two undefeated District 4 teams in our state. So rank number 1, number 2, somebody's going to be happy, somebody's going to be not happy.
Third down, 11 to go for the Knights. Knights have 3 receivers to the left. Jackson Parker in pistol formation looking to pass. Got his receiver, and overshoots his intended receiver, number 1, Brett Busby again. Something's not been jiving with the two between Jackson Parker and Brett Busby here tonight.
No, and you know, you got to give it to Jackson on that. He stayed in that pocket. Got to give it to our protection that we had on him. But like you say, there's just something not jihawing between him and Brett like it normally does. They have a few, miscommunications, but not like this.
Zach Walker standing at his 20. Waiting the snap for the punt. There's a snap. Zach gets into it. Turned overhand punt. This may be returnable, though. It is. Comes over to this near side of the 35, near the 40. He breaks free for quite a few. It's inside Knight territory around the 45, 44-yard line. Late flag comes in. This may be against the Knights as well.
Definitely not what we need right now, but
this is going to give the Louisville Wildcats outstanding field position if it goes the way I think it's going to go.
Yeah, I love you, brother, but I hope you're wrong. But I think you're absolutely right. That was Jaden Triplett.
I don't know. The ref is actually pointing toward the direction we would like it to go in. Yeah, okay. It's going to go against the Louisville Wildcats. Going to place the ball on midfield, so still great field position for the Louisville Wildcats. 7-0 is the score in favor of Louisville.
And this is not just a one-dimensional team. I mean, they can do a little bit of all of it with a little bit of all their players.
Quarterback Hudspeth, shotgun formation, sophomore quarterback. And hand it off to his running back, straight up the middle. Ball goes free. West Lauderdale will recover at the 45-yard line.
There we go. Put that ball in the trash can.
That was number 6 for the Knights. Jordan Nix came up big with that. Well, I'm sorry. Or was that number 4?
Number 4.
That was Slim. Isaiah Slim Combs. Johnny on the spot. First down and 10 from their own 44-yard line. What I say about gifts?
Yeah, that's right. And now it's time we got to really unwrap it.
Receivers White Castle to the left, Brett Busby to the right, Parker in a pistol formation. Got Cagle behind him, looking to run, looks like. And Parker will run. And hit out of bounds after gaining about 3, maybe 4 yards.
It looked like he was trying to signal Wyatt to get on downfield a little bit, let me air it out. But Wyatt had
What he was also doing was taking that defender a little further down the field so he could run a little bit further.
And right there with Wyatt was Joshua Nunn. He's a guy that on defense, he's going to stick right in.
Second down, 6 to go. Flag comes in from the defensive backfield. Should be a late hit, against the Wildcats. But that should be a dead ball foul as the flag was thrown from the defensive side of the football, and then the hit was made after the whistle. So I'm not sure if this is going to be offsetting penalties or. Offense has stepped back a few, so I'm not sure if one of these penalties against the Knights or both of them against. It is early movement against the Knights, but then a dead ball foul against against the Wildcats. So we'll get a few extra on this. 2-yard line. The Knights are in Wildcat territory. Moving right to left on your radio. All those Wildcats are inched up to that line of scrimmage. Be nice to get past that original line and take it to the house. Number 13, get the handoff. That's Dustin Page. Tell you what, I think I called Dustin Page Eli Cagle a few moments ago.
Like you say, they had that whole line stacked up, and all they had in that open field was that lone safety that's been back there all night. They've rotated him, but they kept that one safety back there.
That was a loss of 2 yards. So second down, 12 to go. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cagle is in the game. He's an H-back. There we go. We get some early movement against the defense, and we get an extra 5 yards out of that. We'll take it.
Yeah, and which is kind of, to me, this is showing a little bit of getting skittish by the Wildcats, because Coach Shorter, his teams are always so disciplined, and seeing these little penalties and these small mistakes.
All right, timeout on the field. Louisville takes a timeout. Louisville leads 7-0. We'll come back after this on Q101. Here to Louisville, Mississippi at R.E. Hines Stadium. Knights are into Louisville Wildcat territory, and they have a second down and 7 to go following the early movement against the Louisville Wildcat defense. So a very fast defense for the Louisville Wildcats. Knights will have 2 receivers to the right, and Parker design run will be a loss on the play. And they are really eating up on Parker tonight. I mean, anywhere Parker tries to go, he is being corralled.
He's definitely got at least 2 or 3 sets of eyes on him at all times, lots of times more. So they have definitely watched film of what all he can do for this year and last year. Last year we had him as a receiver, and we saw just how well his hands could just grip that ball and pull it out of nowhere sometimes. So
Parker will have 2 receivers on each side of the line for him. Third down, 9 to go. Parker looks left, and he is, Lutz, 1 rush. Does he make the connection? He makes the connection, but is it enough for a first down? It is a completion.
It's going to be close. Yep.
It is enough for a first down. 10 minutes remains here in the first half. Knights keep on fighting. They're down by 7. Only score tonight came from a 50-yard touchdown. Actually, it's a 51-yard touchdown run, but I believe, yeah. 51-yard touchdown run by number 9 for the Louisville Wildcats, Emory James. Well, the thing about it is I've not seen Emory James check back into the football game since.
No, he's not.
Hold on. First down, 10. Parker looks left, throws deep left to Brett Busby. And makes a connection, receive. No, he's saying out of bounds. How is that not in bounds? I'd love to see a replay on that. Brett Busby would have had it at the 2 or 3 yard line. I thought he came down with it, but the referee was a lot closer than I was. Bring up second down. I like the play, though. You're going to have to take some, spreading the field out like that with the defense, it's going to get them off the line a little bit. I think you're going to have to take some plays like that, whether they're complete or incomplete. Parker, second down, 10 to go, and Parker will hand it off to number 1, that's Zach Walker, is it not? Or is that number 1? That's Zach Walker, number 4, checking in on offense, going to get a first down. That's basically like a little jet sweep there. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to say it. Okay, and if we score here, I'll say it then, all right? First down and 10 from inside the 20. We're in the red zone. It's the Tyrone Shorter defense, and Zach Walker cuts inside and gets inside the 15-yard line. Going to bring up second down.
And Lee, I love to see a stable of running backs.
Tell you what, Zach is, he's not the biggest, he wouldn't be the biggest running back that we have, but he may be a guy that doesn't mind to go into that pile and knock somebody out of his way.
He doesn't mind hitting nor getting hit.
Walker is to the left of Parker. Parker hands it off to Walker again. And Walker is going to be close to those sticks.
And he is really doing a magnificent job of keeping them legs churning and pulling some really big, strong, fast guys with him from the defense.
Third down, 1 to go. 8:27 remains. Parker goes under center. Parker, a quarterback sneak. Does he get that yard? It's going to be close. Still awaiting the ref's decision. Yep, it is a first down. Knights will have first down and goal from the 9-yard line of Louisville. Once again, the Wildcats lead 7-0. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Parker, shotgun formation. Walker to his right. Walker gets the handoff and gets back up to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
I believe the coaches got kind of tired of Zach coming through, and they pulled out one of their linemen and sent in the jumbo package. And
Is that what's,
one young
yeah,
man.
that's a perfect word for it. I wish I had their weights here on the roster, but I don't.
One man is big fella, but still got speed when you watch
Dustin
him.
Page beat back down, going to the end zone, and overshoots his intended receiver. Nice shot there from Parker, but turned around that was Wyatt Castleman, intended receiver, but kind of turned him around a little bit, was not able to make the play. So once again, third down and goal from the 9. And this is a defense who prides themselves of not allowing anything on opposing offenses. Parker, shotgun formation. Dustin Page to his left. And handoff to Page. Page cuts it. No, Parker's got it. Parker to the 5. Parker, touchdown, West Lauderdale. Touchdown, West Lauderdale.
And the curse is broken, whatever you want to call it. We have finally done it and put points on the board.
How about that fake, though? I know it faked me out. I thought Dustin Page had it. So West Lauderdale scores on a 9-yard touchdown run by Jackson Parker. 7:21 remaining here in the first half. Awaiting this extra point attempt by number 22, Cooper Luke. It's a snap, hold is down, kick is up, and is good. We're all tied up here in the second quarter in Louisville, Mississippi, 7-7. It's West Lauderdale football on Q101.
Football.
Welcome back here to Heinz Stadium, or E. Heinz Stadium, not in Pittsburgh. So their field is called up there. Following the nice 9-yard touchdown run by Jackson Parker. It's all tied up, and that's not what you want to happen is an out-of-bounds kick, but there's whistles blown at the line of scrimmage, so this may be coming back anyway. Punt kick it out of bounds. Kickoff. You don't want to give them any more than what they're able to get. I believe it was early movement by that nice kicking team. I'll push the tee back to the 35-yard line. Old Cooper Luke, number 22, brother of Braden Luke, son of Kerry Luke.
If you can say grandson of, I will be extremely impressed.
They've all been kickers here at West Lauderdale.
Yeah.
I end over and kick, and that may be going out of bounds too. It does. No, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. It stays in bounds, and the Knights will recover. Greg, how about the turn of events here in Louisville? It stayed in bounds, and the Louisville Wildcats thought that it was going to go out of bounds, and the Knights got it on the spot. I don't know who came up with it, but the Knights recovered the football deep into Wildcat territory.
I was about to say, I'm really deep down ecstatic about, finally being able to put some points on shorter. Looking at this right here, it just gives you more and more excitement as the night's moving on.
If this play stands, the Knights will have the football on the 27-yard line.
And you talk about putting some wind in your sails.
They've not made a call yet.
But they're bringing the ball
They have,
back.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. Are they saying that it? I've not received a call yet. Undoubtedly they made the call, but we did not get it up here in the booth. So that'll back the Knights up. Whatever happened, instead of a recovery by the Knights kickoff team, they've still not shown the call here, at least to the crowd. They might have shown it to the coaches. Let me just recap here. Cooper Luke and the Knights kicked the ball off from the 35-yard line. It must have been some type of personal foul because now it's moved back to the 20-yard line. And there's still not been any call while the ref is moving the ball back. Initially, it looked like a kickoff fumble recovery by the Knights. That is not the case. Undoubtedly, it was some type of personal foul. And now the Knights will be kicking off from their own 20-yard line. And we still don't have a call for the crowd of what the penalty was. That's the only thing I can think of as a personal foul.
Coach Clay seems to finally have gotten an official to give him something.
I'm not sure what the official is waiting on. Oh, okay. I see that the clock is the culprit of the calls in the play. Clock is at 54.50. I don't think we're going to play a 54-minute quarter, are we?
It may feel like it. I noticed the clock had not stopped earlier with all the confusion. So I guess when they tried to reset it, something happened and we just got it off. And
I mean, you're probably a good kickoff. You're kicking off probably 40 yards.
right.
The Knights, if they were to get a good kick here, kicking from the 20, return team will be picking up from the 40-yard line, 45. So they're already going to get this ball in good field position, great field position. Unless, hey, you never know. Maybe something happened like it did just a few moments ago without a penalty. Once again, delay in action here at Louisville. Waiting the clock management team to get the clock correct.
And still wish we could get an explanation as far as what happened and what, other than the clock. But what happened on that sideline, because over here where we're at, we just can't see that far. But
we're in the stands. Once again, just a few moments ago, the Knights kicked the ball off after a 9-yard score from Jackson Parker. They were offsides during the first kick, so they had to re-kick from their own 35-yard line. A kick from Cooper Luke sailed what looked to be going out of bounds on the Louisville sidelines. Instead of going out of bounds, the kickoff team for the Knights came away with the football, or what at least we thought, and come to find out it was a personal foul that took place during that return. Now the Knights are back up to their own 20 with the kickoff now. Cooper Luke, here's the kickoff, nice kickoff, end over end. Doesn't stay in the air long, he's going to be able to return. He's up to the 40, 45-yard line, that's where they'll bring him down. So nice job on that kickoff team, that coverage unit, to bring him down minimum yards following that reception there. 5:40 remains here in the first half. It's tied up 7-7. So a little roller coaster ride over the last few seconds.
exactly, a lot of ups and downs in a short amount of time, and it went from what looked extremely good builder for us to go into halftime here in a few minutes, but
one receiver to the left, to the right for Jace Hudspeth, number 10, sophomore quarterback. And we do see Emory James back into the football game. He has the score for the Louisville Wildcats. Stop in the backfield. That'll be a loss on the play, about 2 yards. Actually, did he get back up the line of scrimmage?
they're calling him at the line.
Okay, he did. 46-yard line is where he's at, so second down and 10 to go. But Emory James has the Wildcat lone touchdown of 51 yards in the first quarter, first drive actually. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right for the Wildcats. Second down, actually 9 to go, as James going in motion, and he goes down. How about this? Slim Isaiah Combs came up big just a few moments ago. He's coming up big now with a quarterback sack.
I'll tell you, with him, and well, actually, we've got a good line all the way across, but
Dropped the Wildcats to their own 39-yard line. First down to make is just on the outside or the inside of the Knight 45-yard line. Third down and long for the Wildcats. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left as they're moving left to right. Hudspeth looks left, throws deep left. Got his receiver, and incomplete pass. That is once again Jordan Nix knocks it away at the last second.
And this is that time of year when you're looking at several different things, but recruiters are starting to look. That young man right there would be an asset to any defensive squad.
It's amazing how he just stays in the pocket of the receivers that he is given each week in and week out. And you almost can't make a catch against him.
And it's almost like he knows what the quarterback's thinking.
Early movement's going to get somebody. It looks to be going against the Knights. So 5 yards. The Wildcats will gain 5 yards on this, but once again, it's going to be 4th down and behind the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and 12 on the Wildcat 44-yard line. Braden Epton standing at his own 25-yard line. While the punter, Jace Hudspeth, kicks punts from the 34-yard line. Takes a bounce for the Wildcats, goes to the 20-yard line, and the Knights will set up shop. 4 minutes left, 4 minutes, 2 seconds. Once again, the Knights have scored against Tyrone Shorter for the first time ever. And how many times have we played Tyrone Shorter?
This is the 4th time, so.
Of course, dating back to Knoxville County and last year's game against Louisville.
And actually, you know, you look at the first 2 games when he was at Knoxville, and it was 33-35 to our 0. Last year, we kept it closer at 12-0, but this year we've gotten.
There was a flag on that punt. They're going to make them re-kick. Once again, a flag during the punt. It's going to make them re-kick here, re-punt here. Epting will have another shot at it. It was against the Louisville Wildcats. It's going to be backed up to the 39-yard line. Punter Jace Hudspeth standing at his 25. Rugby-style punt. Going to come to this near side. Epting's going to let it roll. It's going to be near the 25-yard line. Just inside the 25. A gain of 5 yards, basically.
Yeah, we'll take it. I mean, every little bit helps.
The Knights offense have a chance to, it'd be great, Greg. I mean, the Knights could put up any type of score here before halftime. They do receive the football to begin the second half of play.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, the way it's looking, you know, field goals count too. So, even if it's a little 3 put up there.
2 receivers to this near side. Cagle going in motion. Parker will hand it off to Collins. Collins, not much there. I don't believe he found anything. Going to be second down and 10 to go for the Knights. Collins, a freshman running back for the Knights. 2 receivers will move over to that right-hand side. Wyatt Castle wide right. Brett Busby in the slot to the right. Parker looks right, may run with it. No, he throws to the right and overshoots his intended receiver once again, Brett Busby. And these two are just who's usually an automatic connection, have been on the wrong page of each other tonight.
Yeah, they're usually like peanut butter and jelly, just go together. But tonight, there's just something not right. I'm not sure that they've even completed a pass between the two.
Two receivers right and left for Parker. Parker has Collins flanking him to his left. There's a snap. Parker rolls out to his left. He's got to get rid of it quick. Somehow lose the rush. He's still on his feet, throws, and incomplete pass. And think about it, Greg, he might have had room to run there.
I was wondering if when he goes back and looks at this on tape, if he'll see where he had a little bit there. I'm not sure about a first down, but he had a little bit there. But give it to him for eluding that pass rush.
3 minutes, 5 seconds remain here in the first half. It's tied up 7-7. Zach Walker going to be at his 13, 14-yard line, punting away. Nice high-hanging punt. Going to be a fair catch called at the 43, 44-yard line. Defense for the Knights. Got to stand up tall here with the closing moments of this first half.
You know, on both squads, you want to go into halftime with a positive. And you want to go in there with that positive, but also at the same time a little bit of a lead. And if you're in Louisville's shoes, you know your opponent's getting the ball when you come back out. West Lauderdale, you know you're getting it. You got to do something. Put a little bit of cushion between you.
trio of receivers to this right-hand side. They'll actually move them in motion to go to the opposite side of the line. Hudspeth in shotgun formation, got one receiver to the right, and hands it off to number 25, and he is actually crowding the backfield, and he is brought down with a loss.
And that's a young man that normally gets ahead and puts something on there, Ja'Cory Coleman. And we followed up him pretty well, other than that one big run. Our defense has kind of bottled them up and not let them have the yards that they are used to having each week.
Second down, 12 to go. Hudspeth looking left, got his receiver number 15, but brought down immediately after the reception is made. It's going to bring up third down. Try to get to that official spot of the football. Be about the 47-yard line, I believe. Third down, 8 to go for the Wildcats. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Hudspeth. Hudspeth looks to the right. Got his receiver, number 1. Completion is made, and he is tackled near the sticks. He's going to be tackled near the sticks. Greg, I'm not sure. Maybe you got a better vantage point than I do.
I'm thinking he's going to be a few yards shy of that.
Tyrone Shorter, what do you do? Fourth down 2, maybe fourth down 3 to go. The ball is spotted just on the inside of the Knight 49-yard line. First down to make would be at the Knight 46-yard line. I believe Shorter's going to keep his offense out on the football field. Don't forget, the quarterback is your punter as well. Quarterback's going to go under center. Defense, you got to stand strong here. High formation. The Knights, I believe, is going to take a timeout. They do. 1:37 remains here in this first half. It's all tied up 7-7. We'll come back after this on Q101. Welcome back here to R.E. Hines Stadium in Louisville, Mississippi. It's fourth down and 3 to go for Louisville Wildcats. That's the ball. Ball just on the inside of the 49-yard line, in between the 48-49-yard line. First down to make would be at the Knight 46-yard line. Initially, Coach Tyrone Shorter left his offense in, and he may be doing the same thing here. 1:37 remains. It's all tied up here, 7-7. So the Knights can get a stop. They have some time on the field to do something here, but they got to make the stop first. An I formation for the quarterback who goes under center. Trying to get the Knights defense to jump. Did they get them? Yes, I believe they did.
I was going to say, if they didn't, it was
you knew it was coming. I mean,
close.
it's just so hard not to do. I mean, got to give the offense, first down. And that's just, that's heartbreaking right there, Greg.
It is. It really is. That's the type thing that you don't want to see at any time, but especially not right here in the closing moments of this.
I mean, especially, you know the coaches are basically saying that that's what they're intending to do. First down and 10 from the 43. Hudspeth looking left, throws left, and overshoots everybody. So second down and 10. And, that, we look at Hudspeth's numbers. He's a sophomore quarterback. When we look at his numbers coming into tonight's game, he's a decent quarterback as far as on the stats go. And I hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot here, but 74 of 99 for 733 yards in 6 ball games. Defense has showed out tonight against a quarterback that's really performed well during the season. Second down 10 from the Knight 43-yard line as Louisville moving left to right. Two receivers on each side of the field for Hudspeth. Shoots it over there to his number 23. Lost on the play.
That was Zach Walker come up just sniffing out that reception there and that quick little pass. And
Third down and 13. Ball will be placed at the 46-yard line of the Knights. Three receivers to the left, one to the right for Hudspeth. Back pedals, looks over the middle of the field, throws right, got his receiver, and does he make the yes, how in the world did he hang on to that football? No, you're saying incomplete. They're saying incomplete pass. He might have routed there with the ground, so wow.
Yeah, getting a little bit of a double team on him there with Braden and Zach. Young man has some height, and I believe the coaches saw something on that side of the field. Our coaches saw something on this side. Either which way, it's incomplete.
We got 52 seconds remaining here in the first half. Not much time against a stingy Louisville defense. Jace Hudspeth going to be punting from his own 40-yard line. Braden Epping standing at his 10. Of course, Jace, high snap. He brings it down. Nice punt. Goes to that far side and takes a little bit of a nice bounce. Knights will get it at the 23, maybe 24-yard line. So 40 seconds remains here. And the field position battle has definitely not been in the favor of the Knights this first half. Once again, 7-7 is your score. This is a game that I know these two schools marked at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I know I did. With orange. And you're seeing, where we're at here, and this is where you got to be careful again.
Mm-hmm. Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Low snap. Jackson Parker digs it out. Parker will have to just basically run it up the middle to just get anything, maybe about a yard. So second down and 9. Clock is at 30 seconds now. Looked like he was going to try to go deep with it, but once he realized he had some Wildcats in his face, he just took what he could get. Second down, 9 to go. A trio of receivers tied against that offensive line. Parker looking left, throws over the middle, and still has not been able to connect with his receiver. That was actually number 7, Wyatt Castle there. That'll stop the clock with 13 seconds.
And the thing is, there have been some bad throws, but at the same time, he's put some right there in the palm of their hands, and not too sure. Great passes are coming out of his hands. So.
Once again, trio set of receivers to the left, one to the right. Parker back pedals, throws and undershoots his intended receiver, Brett Busby. They've been getting hit at the time of the attempt. And that's going to leave 8 seconds on the clock for the Louisville Wildcats.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tavares Cooper there was hitting him by the time he was trying to release that and kind of help that ball not to go where we wanted it to. So.
Definitely don't want to punt it to anybody wearing a maroon shirt. Once again, 8 seconds left. If the offense might be able, for Louisville might have one play, it's according to what the outcome of this punt is. Zach Walker standing at his own 12-yard line. There's a snap. They're coming after it. End over end. This is going to be returnable. And he's got some running room to the 40, and he's dragged down. Finally brought down around the 38-yard line. That'll be the last play of the first half. How about this, guys? 7-7. Tied ball game. Defensive battle. But the Knights are tied with the Wildcats at the top of the division here in Louisville, Mississippi. We'll be back with a halftime show. Being brought to you by Will Sweat, Alpha Insurance Agent, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory. We'll break down scoring summaries as well as the stats for tonight's first half bring you some other scores from around the area as well. It's all coming your way next with a halftime show on Q101.
Your home for West Lauderdale night. On Q101.
Welcome back here into the halftime show. Once again, the score is 7-7 as we get to the halfway point in this contest between the top two schools in Region 4-4A coming into tonight's ball game, both 2-0 in region play. Both teams winning 5 games throughout the 2020 season. West Lauderdale 5-2, and Louisville Wildcats 5-1. Also, the Knights had a battle against an opponent where they've never beaten Tyrone Shorter, dating back to the Knoxville County days, and not only that, but never has scored against Tyrone Shorter. So, as we've already seen tonight, that one accomplishment has been done for the West Lauderdale Knights in scoring against Tyrone Shorter's led defense here with the Louisville Wildcats. Here's how we got to 7-7. First drive for the night for the Louisville Wildcats. Once again, first of all, the Knights won the coin toss and deferred for the second half. So the Knights kicked off to the Louisville Wildcats, and their big-time runner, running back, Mr. James, number 9, returned it for 50 yards. The Knights actually had them stop 4th down and 1, but Tyrone Shorter rolled the dice and came out good for that one. 9:47 remaining in the first quarter, and the Wildcats led 7-0. Extra point was good. The Knights really was struggling on the offensive side of the ball. Into the second quarter, 7:21 remained. It was a 3rd down and goal from the 9, and Jackson Parker faked, I believe, a lot of people out. Faked me out. Number 13, Daniel Page touchdown. Extra point also was good by Mr. Cooper Luke. And the score was 7-7, tied at the second quarter. Knights had a couple of good things going on for the offense, but also, Greg, if I can stop you from counting up on your hands and toes there for stats real quick, the Knights left a lot of opportunities, missed opportunities there on the football field with the quarterback to the receiver connection. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. Maybe the coldest of the weeks or the Friday nights that we've had. Maybe it was a week off. I'm not sure, but there's been something in between the quarterback and receiver as far as not making that connection. They've left a lot of plays because those plays were open in many of those occasions. Just missed about a yard or two. If they can get that corrected, this Knights offense could possibly turn into something here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that if they can get in that locker room or whatever it takes, but get those little mistakes tweaked out when they come back out, this could be a night that Louisville won't forget for a while and that we won't forget for a while for different reasons.
Once again, this game basically for leads in the district and has a good chance to become district champs if whoever wins tonight could possibly very well be the Region 4 4A district champs of 2020. Anyway, once again, this is your halftime show being brought to you by Will Sweat, Alpha Insurance, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory. The score 7-7. We'll be back after 3 minutes here on Q101. Halftime score here at Louisville at R.E. Hines Stadium. Of course, the halftime show being brought to you by Will Sweat, Alpha Insurance Agent, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory. Once again, the score is 7-7. Knights and the Louisville Wildcats once again locked in a defensive battle for the second straight year.
But Greg, how about some statistics for us for the first half?
All right, let's go to Louisville side real quick. Jace, number 10 is quarterback. He's 5 for 11, 30 yards. Running back, number 9, Henry James. He's 5 for 57. Team is 10 for 53. Jaden Triplett, number 23, leads with 2 for 11 on receptions. On our side, number 20, Josh Randall, is 1 for 15, leading receiving. Running is number 5, Jackson Barker. He's 7 for 30 yards. Total for the team is 22 attempts for 44 yards. Number 5, Jackson Barker, is 2 for 12, 42 yards total. When you add all that up, total yards for the first half is 83 on their side, 86 on our side. So that is amazingly close, but at the same time, this is yardage that I don't believe either team has seen all year being that low.
Well, you've got a team that's put up 160 some odd points during their 6 games compared to 48 points given up. But 50 of those 80 some odd yards came in one play, Greg.
Right. So you take that off the board, and you know you got to really hand it to our defense. They're young defense. Whole team is young, but you got to hand it to them because, like you say, you take that away and you're what 33 yards. So and there's not 7 on the board. It's a totally different score. So
maybe during the second half we can get outside of our own end zone a little bit. We played that position battle for the latter part of the first half, for most of that second quarter. So maybe we can get out and get something on the board here to begin this second half as the Knights will receive football here.
You definitely have to feel good about yourself with the defensive battle that you put up against an amazing team, but at the same time, you've got to get that breathing room to let you feel more comfortable. We saw Jackson making some passes, some great passes, just for some reason couldn't connect like we're used to. So,
all right, once again, halftime show being brought to you by Will Sweat, Alpha Insurance Agent, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory. Score is 7-7. Once again, a defensive battle. Last year, I believe it was 6-0 for most of that football game until right there toward the end, where the Louisville Wildcats got their second score of the ball game. But it was a tight battle last year. Tyrone Shorter just has something up his sleeve when it comes to facing this West Lauderdale Light offense. But we'll come back in just a little bit, give you a scoring update from around the area, try to get you some other scores from Region 4, 4A, as well as some other area scores as well. Halftime show continues. 7-7 is the score here on Q101.
Back to the halftime show. Once again, the score here is 7-7, all tied up with West Lauderdale and Louisville. How about some other scores from around Region 4, 4A? Choctaw Central leads the Northeast Lauderdale Trojans 16-13. League Central leads Kosciuszko 13-6. So there's the other two ball games going on with Region 4, 4A. Choctaw Central once again leads Northeast Lauderdale 16-13, while League Central leads the Kosciuszko Whippets 13-6. Other scores from around the area, we've got Lamar and Hartfield at the half. It's 24-20. Hartfield Hawks leads the Lamar Raiders 24-20. Newton County and Richland, two undefeated teams, going at it in 4A tonight, 33-10. Newton County has a commanding lead at half against the Richland Rangers. Quitman Panthers, Northeast Jones, Tigers. Quitman leads the Northeast Jones Tigers 6-2 at the half. Philadelphia over Forest currently, 27-20. Philadelphia Tornadoes once again leads the Forest Bearcats 27-20. Nanawaya just down the road from where we are. Nanawaya 7, Hamilton 6. Kemper County and Clarkdale, tight ball game here, 6-3 in the third quarter. Kemper County Wildcats lead the Clarkdale Bulldogs 6-3. Union and Scott Central. Union 20, Scott Central 6. We've yet to get a score for the Southeast Lauderdale Tigers and Morton Panther game. Taylorsville and Enterprise. Taylorsville leads 13-7. Once again, Taylorsville leads Enterprise 13-7. And we did have a forfeit. Newton has defeated Lake Hornets by the way of forfeit. So there's you some scores from around the area. As we go throughout the night, we'll try to bring you some more scores and, of course, bring you some finals as we go as well. But the score here, 7-7. West Lauderdale Knights have finally overcome one obstacle, and that's scored against this Tyrone Shorter defense. Played them 4 times, and we've finally been able to score against the Tyrone Shorter defense, dating back to the Knoxville County days. But it's always great to be able to accomplish those feats. Now we got to accomplish the next one. That's defeat the Louisville Wildcats. Brad, I know I told you that we were not going to take another commercial break, but I think we do. We do have to take it. Let's go for another couple minutes and come right back with the end of the halftime show and the beginning of the second half. 7-7 is your score. The halftime show being brought to you by Alpha Insurance agent Will Sweat, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory. We're going to come back in 2 minutes and bring you that second half here on Q101.
Ball on Q101.
Once again, the halftime show is just about to come to a close. Score is 7-7. Thank you very much to Will Sweat, Alpha Insurance Agent, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory for sponsoring our halftime show here. And once again, both schools tonight 2-0 in district play. Winners of this game is basically in the driver's seat for the District 4 4A championship. And while, yes, anything could happen the final 2 weeks of the season, you are in the driver's seat. That means you could probably take one loss on the chin and still come out as district champs. But definitely don't want to do that. But the winner of this ball game has 24 minutes to make up the mind who wants to bet more. So 7-7 is your score, and you can't get much tighter than a lot of times the score is misleading. A lot of times stats are misleading, but when you have a score of 7-7 and you have a stats that show 80 some odd yards on both teams, you're pretty much equal there. But we were talking about during the break that 50 yards was one play.
Right.
And you take away that play, and the Knights had them 4th down and 1 there.
Right.
You take away that one play, and let's just say we make a stop there on 4th down. The Knights defense has held them to 30 yards, other than that play, 35 yards.
And going back, if you look, I mean, it's kind of a mixture, but this is an experienced defense. This is a defense that's been on the field, and, we've got some guys that's been out there a lot, but we got a lot of fresh faces out there, too, on our defensive side. But
And I just want to share what this offense for Louisville has been able to accomplish coming into tonight's game. Once again, this is 6 ball games. This isn't 7. This is 6 ball games because they're 5-1. But just look at what they've been able to do. They put up 164 points over those 6 ball games, while the Knights 178 points. Now the defense has only given up 48 points, while the Knights defense has given up 126 points. But look at their stats. Jace Hudspeth, 74 of 99, 733 yards out of 6 ball games. Running back, Emory James, he's carried the ball 76 times for 547 yards. Number 25, who has been eat up in the backfield tonight, Ja'Cory Coleman, nearly 400 yards on the season. I believe he's had negative yards tonight.
Yeah.
So far. So this defense for the Knights is no joke.
That's why you hear why I said the 57. And for one player, for number 9, James, and then you turn around and the total was 53, and that's why, because our defense is getting back there and eating up yardage, all night long, and when they do get something positive, defense comes back there and negates it, plus a little bit more. So,
all right, guys. Well, next week, of course, we still got a couple quarters here to play, but next week, I don't know if many people thought we'd have one this year. We kept on getting home games taken away from us, but next week is an official homecoming for the West Lauderdale Knights next week. So we, of course, cannot wait to sit in our press box.
and I'm going to say this, hopefully to get my little tail out of trouble. The homecoming, haunted homecoming. Each day is a candy-related theme. Very wise, cool idea there. Got a lot of neat stuff coming up, and you were talking about the parade, I think, one night. Oh, so we've got a lot of neat stuff coming up next week, but the biggest thing is to keep these guys that's on the field right now smart next week, rested up, don't do anything stupid, get in trouble.
It's a coach's worst nightmare. But, I talk to Brock about that every year, and he says, he doesn't have any trouble out of his football players during homecoming week. And that's saying something. But real quick, while we got a little bit of time before kickoff here, Halloween candy. I'm going to bring in Steven as well. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, favorite Halloween candy, Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls. Greg?
Reese's, man.
Am I the only person that does like and truly enjoy candy corn?
Yes.
Really?
My wife does, but
You just said I was the only person.
well,
Laura?
over here anyway.
We need to get together and have some
Y'all can get together and have candy corn.
I could eat a whole bag of them things. Darby, Kenny is sitting right next to me, and if you're a West Lauderdale graduate over the last few years, you know who I'm talking about, Darby Kenny. You've eaten how much?
Whole box.
It's not as much as a whole bag. Thank you very much to Will Sweat, Health Insurance Agent, as well as Meridian Mattress Factory, wrapping up the halftime show. Let's get this thing kicked off. Nice receive here to begin the second half of play. 7-7 ball game. Grounder goes in the hands of, I believe that's Dustin Page. Knights will have the ball at their own 45-yard line. That's kind of unorthodox. I initially thought that whenever they were doing this in warm-ups, that they were practicing onside kick. But this has been their normal kickoff.
It has, and it's like you say, it's odd, it's different, something you don't see. But there again, it's something we got to take advantage of. And right now, if you can put,
hang on, trick play here for the Knights. Then like in a swinging gate here to you see this on an extra point, but you rarely see this during a game now. And Daniel Knox is basically saying, no, let's not do it. Timeout. You definitely don't want to take a timeout here, but the Knights have to. I'm not too sure. Undoubtedly, it was going to be some attempt for a trick play. But immediately, Coach Daniel Knox raises his hands and said something. I don't know what he said, but he did not like what he saw, so he had to take a timeout. But in a close ball game, you want to keep those timeouts for later in the ball game.
Exactly. You want to keep them in your pocket. And I would love to know where that play would have gone. We'll have to get with Coach Knox and find out what that was all about. It's got me intrigued.
First down and 10 for the Knights. Parker in the shotgun formation will have two receivers to the left, one to the right. Parker will hand it off to number 4, Zach Walker, and he's met by a host of maroon jerseys for a 1-yard loss. Zach Walker came into the second quarter as a running back for the Knights offense and gave a little spark to be able to get that touchdown, Jackson Parker's touchdown. Walker will give way to Caleb Collins, number 11, who's on the right-hand side of Parker. Parker will hand it off to Collins in reverse, or at least an attempt to reverse, and couldn't make the connection, and there'll be a loss on the play. That was once again going in the hands of Caleb Collins, but it looked to be Wyatt Castle coming back around for maybe a reverse, and Caleb Collins just could not get it into the belly, and the ball went on the ground, so there'll be a loss of 4 on the play, 3rd down and 15. So you come into the second half hoping to possibly be able to turn something good, and now you're faced with 3rd down and long on the 40-yard line. A host of 3 receivers on the right-hand side of the line. Parker looks to his right, looks back to the center, and just once again overshoots his intended receiver, and it's there. This one's not even close.
No, that one, that one was just way off. And I said earlier, about him being just kind of right there, but that one I'm going to have to blame on Jackson. He didn't have that nowhere near the palms. He didn't have that nowhere near the shoulder pads or jersey or pants or anything. But
Walker comes in, standing at his own 28-yard line, waiting to snap. High snap. Walker brings it down. Nice punt. Going to catch it at the 30, and he will be corralled at the 31, 32-yard line. So once again, defensive battle here for the Knights and the Wildcats. Another good stand against for the Louisville Wildcats. Let's see if the Knights can do the same.
yeah, that's the defensive stand that they wanted coming out. Now we just got to return it. I mean, you've got an opportunity here to do something. You've got to take advantage of it.
Chase Hudspeth, quarterback, looks to his left, throws left, got his receiver wide open there, number 13, and that's at number 33, I'm sorry. Well, I just got them both wrong. 23. 23 is Jaden Triplett. That's enough for a first down for the Wildcats.
Starting to see them pick up on the fact we got double coverage on one player.
hand the ball off to number 25. Makes a guy miss, makes a lot of guys miss, and that's number 9. Excuse me, I just keep getting these numbers wrong, don't I? It'll be near the sticks. He will get a first down. 2 straight first downs for the Louisville Wildcats. Coach Tyrone Shorter, I don't know what he did during halftime, but those first couple plays have been a plus for this Louisville Wildcat offense who've been struggling. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Jace Hudspeth. Hands off to James. James is met there at the line of scrimmage. Taken down. Maybe about a half-yard gain.
Yeah, this is a night that Emory James is not accustomed to seeing as well. He's not used to being held to low yardage like he's been.
Second down, 9 to go. James gets the handoff and gets stopped at the line of scrimmage once again. Actually, I believe they give him a yard, maybe a yard and a half on that. So 3rd down and 8. Get him up to the 42-yard line, I believe. Ball is placed in between the 41 and 42-yard line of the Knights. So big play here for the Knights defense. You know, it may be 4-down territory for Coach Tyrone Shorter.
We saw him take some chances earlier in that first half, and one of them paid off big.
Hudspeth's got 3 receivers to his right, but he looks left. Got his receiver. That's completion made to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown. Louisville Wildcats. That is number 15, Jarvis Rush. Left that middle wide open, and Louisville just made the Knights defense pay. So the Louisville Wildcats, just like they did on their first possession in the first half, have taken it to the house. The first attempt to put in the uprights just squeaked into that left upright. So let's see if the Wildcats, what they do on this one. Here's the kick. Kick is up and is good. Wildcats 14, West Lauderdale 7. We'll be back on Q101.
Now is the time to replace your old
Following a 41-yard touchdown run or touchdown pass. 2 big plays for the Louisville Wildcats. Louisville offense here in tonight's action has the Louisville Wildcats 14 and the Knights 7.
And you know, the whole football game for them, and I know we still got a lot of football to go, but has come down to 2 plays, really.
There's a short kick, going to go out of bounds. And the Knights will have decent field position.
If you take away those 2 plays, there's not really a whole lot been done out there.
The first plays here in the second half, though, you got to wonder a little bit because the corrections you always try your best to make the corrections at halftime. Undoubtedly, Tyrone Shorter, he had the first play, got a first down. Second play, first down, and then took off for 41 yards for a touchdown. Pretty nice drive for the Louisville Wildcats. Now let's see if the Knights can match them on here. They'll have the ball on their own 40-yard line. Is there a penalty? 45-yard line. First down and 10 from their own 45 here. Jackson Parker hands it off to Zach Walker. And Zach following had a little pause there to get the football because Jackson Parker had the ball a little low for him, but it ends up turning that into a 4-yard pickup.
And Zach's not, I guess, one of our customary running backs. So
second down, 6 to go. Another handoff to Walker. Walker once again piles drives, and he's still on his feet to the 40-yard near the 40-yard line as he goes out of bounds. That's a first down for the Knights.
So when you have that different running back, even that little bit of height difference, little way that they carry, they receive, you're going to have little things like that.
High tempo offense here. Knights are back on the line of scrimmage from the 39-yard line. Walker once again, feed it to him. Keep on giving it to him. Be a gain of 3 yards, second down and 7.
This is what we talked about earlier. Just keep them steady little chunks coming out of the field until you get to the home.
I've only been a pickup of 2 there. Second down and long 7 there for the Knights. And handoff to Zach Walker once again. Walker going to be near the 35-yard line. Third down and 6 to go. Third down, 6 to go. Once again, 7-10 remaining here in the third quarter. West Lauderdale 7, Louisville 14. It was a 7-7 tie at halftime, but Louisville came out of halftime and found a 41-yard pass, put up another 7. Long pass intended for Brett Busby. It looked like there was some holding going on there against the defender, but I guess the referee's saying it was uncatchable football. I'm not sure on that, but definitely some holding going on there from that defender.
Yeah, definitely Saints prom dance. You can't hold that way.
It's going to bring up fourth down and 6. Offense remains on the field. Definitely, I would believe this is 4-down territory for the Knights. If you got a 6-yard play anywhere, you'd love to keep this offensive drive going. Ball is spotted just on the outside of the 35-yard line. Here we go. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Parker. Parker looks over his left-hand shoulder. He does have Collins to his left. There's a snap. Backpedals and throws. Intended receiver. And that's Caleb Collins hit hard before the pass was even gotten there. That'll be loss on downs. 6:44 remains. That's the type of hit that'll get everybody into the game, right?
It will, real quick. Different reaction.
It's on the verge of being a little early hit, though. The Wildcats will take over on their own 35-yard line. Or just on the outside, maybe about the 36-yard line. You have to excuse me, we're in the stands, so I'm going to look all the way across the field to find out where the ball is. First and 10 from the Wildcat 36-yard line. Looking to pass is Hudspeth. He's got a receiver. And incomplete pass. Nice job for Jordan Hicks once again.
Yeah, I'm saying Jordan is just the type guy when you've got a ball heading towards that receiver that he's with, as a defensive coach, you want him right there.
He's probably giving up about 6 to 8 inches on that receiver. But he gets that arm in there at the last second to break away that pass, and you can't do that if you're not in the pocket of your receiver. Right. And he's right there with him. 2 receivers on the left, 1 to the right for the Wildcats. Handoff. Number 25 goes off to that far side, and nothing there. Once again, this kid comes in the game with 300 some odd yards, and I think it's hurting his yard. I think every carry he gets, he got 1 yard there, but
and like 8 touchdowns. So, 6 games, 8 touchdowns. You do the math, folks. I mean, he's not used to this type night.
Third down, 9 to go for Louisville. Hudspeth rolls out, looks left, and almost picked off by Zach Walker. And if he would have had it, he'd probably taken it to the house.
Yeah, because he definitely had nothing but green grass and air right in front of, or right in between him and the end zone. And you just can't say enough for Zach. I mean, sometimes these players have good nights, and some nights they have great nights. And right now, Zach's having a great night.
Once again, 4th down, 9 to go. Punt team comes out. Jace Hudspeth is the punter for the Louisville Wildcats. Standing at his own 25-yard line. Braden Epting at the 31-yard line. Knights coming after it. Low punt. Takes a big-time Louisville Wildcat bounce, though. Are they saying that it hit a Knight? I think the Louisville Wildcat fans thought it hit a Knight. Therefore, the Louisville Wildcat punt team picked it up.
It almost looked like when it went short, it hit one of the Knights.
Officials are saying no, it is West Lauderdale football.
I thought it deflected, but I'm saying, it must have deflected off the grass.
The Knights offense had a few positive yards in that last offensive series. Maybe they can turn the corner in this one and tie it up once again. 5:49 remains in the third quarter. The Knights are down 14-7. Knights will break huddle from the sideline and have 3 receivers to the left-hand side, 1 to the right in a pistol formation. Cagle directly behind Parker. And straight up the middle dive. Give the Knights 1, maybe 2 yards, or 1 yard. Cagle, once again, number 36 for the Knights, lining up directly behind Jackson Parker. The entire team looks over to their left-hand shoulder and gets the play call from big old Daniel Knox. 2nd down 9 here. Same formation. Parker looks left, throws left. Wyatt Castle gets hit hard. It's hard by number 2.
Yeah, that was
no gain on the play.
Joshua Nunn, who has big weeks, week in, week out, and he got a hold of Wyatt there pretty good.
I'm glad Wyatt was able to come right back up, but
yes,
that was a hard hit. Where's the lookout for defensive players right there? He's trying to make a catch and pops it right in the belly. 3rd down and 9 from the Knight 34-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Parker back pedals. He's got to get rid of it, and he's going to go down. That pocket collapsed quick. The Knights will bring out punt team once again.
Their offense, is it just me, Lee, or are they starting to look a little, I don't want to say sluggish, but that they're just leaving some holes open more so than they were the first half. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Not a lick, does it?
Walker at his 16, 17-yard line. He's going to get a boot on this one. And he does. High hanging punt, what calls a fair catch signal called at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Once again, the battle of the field position is not going into the Knights' favor. It's going back toward the end of that second quarter like it was.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the score is 14-7 in favor of the Wildcats. 2 scores have been some big plays for the Wildcats. 50-yard touchdown run, 41-yard touchdown pass. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Louisville. Connection is made at the 45, little screen pass, and he's off to the races, the 40, 30, 20. Nobody's going to get him. 10, 5, touchdown, Louisville. Louisville has just extended their lead on a little screen pass. Number 23, Jaden Triplett. Get the guy in a little bit of open space with a couple blockers ahead of him. And he took it to the house. Waiting the extra point by number 85, or is that 80? 86, excuse me, Cedric Hunt. There's a snap, hold is down, kick is up, and is good. 21-7 in favor of the Louisville Wildcats. We'll be back on Q101.
The Citizens Bank is proud to introduce the West.
Big time yards after catch on that previous play of 55 yards. A screen pass turned into a touchdown for the Wildcats, who've had 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter to extend the lead 21-7 against our West Lauderdale Knights. Kickoff come down around the 32-yard line. Fair catch called there as well. Knights offense has just not found anything here in the second half.
Finding something to get clicking, and it's just not happening. And, this is the point in the ball game where you make or break yourself, so to speak. You get nervous and you start going for too much.
See, now you're in the position where you're down by 2 scores, so you're going to have to look deeper down the field, and that could cause trouble as well, especially because tonight the passing game has not been there. Hand off to Zach Walker, and Zach near the 35-yard line, maybe a gain of a yard and a half or so.
And you see a lot of fire coming in that defense on that Louisville side.
They're both blue.
Yeah.
Second down, 9 to go for Parker and the Knights. Flags set there. We've got to get set before they move. But there'll be a flag against the Knights. Illegal motion there.
Joshua Nunn, I'm not sure what happened during the halftime, but he has come back on this field this second half, and he has been some kind of fired up. From the time he stepped on that field over there to this moment, he has been fired up. He's got something in him.
Second down, 14 to go for Knights. Parker rolls out to his right, being chased, and he will go down. At some point, there's got to be some blocking. Parker has had no time whatsoever tonight.
Mr. Cooper again, it seems like he's been getting back there quite a bit this second half.
This is an outstanding defense. We're not taking anything away from this defense, but at some point, you got to make a block. Parker in a pistol formation. They'll send out Collins in motion. Parker wants to go deep and should be, they're not, no. They're not going to call a flag on that one either. They're going to fourth down and long from the 24-yard line. Knights will once again punt it away. Walker will be standing at his 12-yard line. Louisville should get the ball around midfield. Walker puts a big old boot in it. Returnable though. No, I'm surprised he put his hand up. Fair catch is called at the 42-yard line. Looked to be a returnable football.
I thought he would at least come back. I'm not sure how far, but like you said, it was definitely returnable. And in the hands of that young man, it can.
Coach Tyrone Shorter must have found something at halftime to be able to capitalize on, because they turned in a 41-yard touchdown pass and a 55-yard touchdown pass in the third quarter to lead the Knights 21-7. This was a game that both teams had 80-plus yards in total offense. Now another little screen pass attempt here. Number 23 with the reception once again. He had a 55-yarder, and he's got it near a first down. here for this one.
Jaden Triple there, he is starting to come alive, and the whole offense is starting to come alive in this second half.
Just a sophomore.
So you know what that means, right? Unless they move us back down next year, we got to build some of these guys multiple times.
And you got a sophomore quarterback there, sophomore receivers, junior running backs. Hudspeth looking down deep. He's got a receiver, but guess who's right in the pocket of that receiver? Number 6, Jordan Nix. Incomplete pass to bring up third down, 2 to go. Ball is placed at midfield, actually, just on midfield. 1:16 remains here in the third quarter. 21-7 is the score in favor of the Wildcats. Hand off to James. James will be close to this. Actually, yeah, he got the first down. Was placed at the 47, between the 46 and 47 yard line of the Knights. And you also go back to the defense of the Knights starting to get a little winded too, because the offense can't sustain drives. Double receiver set on each side of the line. Going to be a handoff to number 25, who is met to Coleman.
You got to give your defense time to not only get a rest, but with today's technology, to be able to start watching immediately what the mistakes were that they made that last drive. And you got to give them an opportunity to do both.
Ball's placed just on the outside of the 45-yard line of the Knights. Second down, 9 to go for the Wildcats. Moving left to right. Hudspeth finds his receiver. And first down once again. And it's going to be a late flag. Going to be against the Knights. And this is going to give an extra 15 yards, more than likely. This is definitely not what you wanted to have as we enter into the fourth quarter. Just moments away from the fourth quarter. Once again, flag thrown as hit was continuing after the whistle was blown. That's the end of the third quarter. We're going to step aside. 12 minutes remain. 21-7 in favor of the Wildcats. We'll be back on Q101.
Collinsville Veterinary Clinic understands the strong bond you have with your pets. Dr. Tyson Pompilia and his staff are professional and compassionate while caring.
Well, 12 minutes remain here in the ball game. Louisville and West Lauderdale. What was a 7-7 ball game, what was an 86 yards to 83 yards in the first half, has turned into a lopsided third quarter as the Louisville Wildcats now find themselves first down and 10 from just on the inside of the Knights' 20-yard line. After a personal foul against the Knights defense, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Louisville. Pitch off to number 25, who is met. No gain on the play, not even been a loss. It's a 1-yard loss. Second down, 11 to go.
And this is an area of the field that when Louisville gets in, they generally can walk away with something. You don't get as many district titles and state championships as they have between Louisville and Coach Shorter as well, without coming out of the end zone or red zone with getting into the end zone.
It's second down, 11 for Hudspeth. Calls one of his receivers in motion, looking toward the left. Now looks back toward the middle of the field, and he makes the connection. Connection is made.
the plate. West Lauderdale recovers at the 15-yard line. How about that break?
I was going to say this.
Mcneil. How about Mcneil and his late flag? It's going to be a personal foul, dead ball foul. Comes in late.
Yeah, you hate to see something like that and then a flag. And while we wait to see what that flag is for, you kind of sit on pins and needles, don't you?
Rock Clay is definitely hot on this particular flag. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be a personal foul against the Knights. But the Knights keep the Wildcats out of the end zone. You know, following that penalty, the Wildcats defense is really pepped up right now. So this is dangerous, very dangerous territory. You're going to be at the 6-7 yard line of your own. And you know as well as I do, Jackson Parker has had no time whatsoever in that pocket tonight.
There is. It's going to take a lot to get a pass out of his hand right now. So
they're definitely going to be coming after Jackson Parker with here, this close to that goal line. I have one receiver to the left, one receiver to the right. Brett Busby, the receiver to the right, and Wyatt Castle, receiver to the left, as the Knights are moving left to right. Parker in a shotgun formation, standing basically at the goal line. Parker will keep it himself. Parker out of the gets out there somehow and crosses the 10-yard line to the 12. Nice play on first down there. Give you a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, watching that defense from this angle, they went in, but Jackson finds a little hole there, and
they're back on the line of scrimmage here. And I believe that maybe an illegal substitution against the defense, or did they call a timeout? Timeout defense, because there was a guy came in real late on the defensive line. Coach Tyrone Sorter calls the timeout. We're going to stay here in action, but this is a huge drive for the Knights. Yeah, they were backed up to their own 6-yard line, but I mean, if the Knights got to put some points on the board if they want to contend in the rest of this ball game. It's 10:39 remaining, down by 2 scores. The Knights have not been able to get but maybe 1 or 2 first downs in this second half. You got to go the distance of the field here.
That's right, and you know, this is that time to where you look at the little victories, but right now we need a big victory. 21-7, fourth quarter football. Normally you would say there's time with this team that we've got on the other side of the field. Time runs short quick.
Second down short for the Knights. Parker will hand the ball off to, I believe that's number 4, Walker. Walker finds a hole to the 20, to the 25, and he just rolls over a Louisville Wildcat defender.
And literally rolled over. You know, that's the type thing. Seeing the way Walker is performing tonight, he has really stepped up. Got an injured player on the field.
I believe it's a cramp the way he's holding his leg. I believe it's a cramp. His toes locked up, and what does he need, Greg?
Needs some pickle juice.
Pickle juice. I can hear Dean saying it now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll let him have my share as well. But
I hate when that happens at night, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that Brandy's killing me in my leg.
And if you've ever sit there and actually watched your toes cramp up like that, it's kind of a freaky look.
First down and 10 from the 30. In double receiver set, one on each side of the field for Parker. He's in shotgun formation, has Walker to his side. Like early movement against the defense. No flag. How in the world was that not a flag?
You can.
Walker, another handoff. Walker makes a couple of Wildcats miss. I do not see how he has continued to drag the pocket like he's doing, but I like it.
Yeah, I do too. And
second down and short. Second down and 3 to go.
the young man just seems to have those good plays that are always progressive, and he finds holes, he finds ways to make plays, he finds ways to pull defenders with him.
Second down, 3 to go. Parker looking to pass. He's got to get rid of it quick. Somehow he breaks free of that sack there, but he gets taken out of bounds late, and no flag. There we go. I hate to say it, guys, but it's about time.
Yeah, I believe that we
again, late hit out of bounds against Jackson Parker. Will give us a few extra yards on that. This will be marked from the 41-yard line. We'll get into Wildcat territory. But guys, this drive began at the 6-yard line due to a personal foul against the Knights. Now in the Wildcat territory on the 44-yard line. First down and 10. Same formation for the Knights. There's a snap, another handoff to Walker. Walker gets inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, following that lead blocker and Javion Merrill. Javion clearing some space for him, and Walker taking advantage of it, just kind of holding on to him and going for the ride.
Ball is placed at the 37-yard line. First down would be at the 34. Parker, another handoff to Walker. Might as well keep on giving it to him, right? He gets near the first down, if not the first down. I believe they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, I think it might have been a little bit short, but I don't know.
Nope,
I think
he did it.
that tackle there
Brought him on into the first down.
helped give him that first down.
Ball is placed just on the outside of the 33-yard line, and you see one of those defensive linemen there kneeling down, squatting down, getting a little bit of winded maybe. You always wonder, why do we keep running up the middle? Well, that's the reason, because you make those two middle guys tired. Zach Walker, nope, Jackson Parker will take it himself. Parker nears the 30-yard line. So a gain of 3, second down, 7 to go.
Yeah, and folks, I'm trying to avoid, but if you hear anything, it's not us.
Ball is placed just on the inside of the 30-yard line. And you basically have the Wildcats reeling right now. 8:11 remaining here in the football game. Wildcats lead 21-7. Brett Busby with a completion inside the 15-yard line. And I got to mention this now, Greg. I know you were alluding to it just a few moments ago. But during those runs up the middle, Brett Busby and the defender right across from Brett Busby were just tangling up with each other. And the defender was really just taking it to Brett Busby, taking it to the ground. And Brett was like, what are you talking about? We're gaining yards. And finally Brett Busby with a reception there. Walker here inside the 10-yard line. Walker still on his feet. Walker touchdown, West Lauderdale. How about that drive that began on the 6-yard line? 94 yards. Swinging gate formation. I don't think that's going to happen, but they'll put the normal formation for an extra point. This is a huge extra point, Greg. Cooper Luke. There's a snap, high snap, kick is up, and does it get in there? Yes. 14, West Lauderdale, 21, Louisville. How about a ball game, guys? We'll be back on Q101.
Shop Piggly Wiggly in Collinsville or Stonewall now through Tuesday for these specials. Certified Angus beef sirloin tip roast, $3.49 a pound. St. Louis pork spare ribs, $2.
Zach Walker touchdown. The Knights lead. The Knights eat into the Louisville Wildcats lead, 14-21. What was the run on that? 12-yard run, and he was stopped after 4 yards.
Yeah,
but he kept on going. He took it to the house. Cooper Loop kick going to be inside the 20. He'll return it to the 20, and he is brought down at the 20-yard line. Eli Cagle.
Yeah, Eli's another one of them young men. He can just do it all. And that drive, like you said, it started with the penalty, and you had to drive 90-plus yards downfield.
Jackson Parker was standing at his goal line with the first snap. And was able to get it out of the 10-yard line near the 12-yard line. That was the tone setter there.
Yeah, and you know, championship teams are built on how you overcome adversity, and that drive right there, with everything that went on every single play, they can overcome it. So this ball game's far from over.
The Knights have won the turnover battle in tonight's game so far. We'd love to see another one here. Handoff to the running back, James. James makes a few Knights miss, and James will get a first down. As once again, that battle going straight up the middle.
Yeah. He loves that north-south, or not north-south, but north running.
Nick Mcneil, we got an injured Knight on the field. Nick Mcneil. Trying to see if I can tell. That may be a little cramp as well. I'm hoping that's what it is. Nick is the battery for this defense, I guess you could say. Nick has got one of the turnovers and takeaways here tonight, and that's what set up that previous drive for the Knights offense.
Exactly, and Nick's one of the leaders in defense on every category. Solo, assists, tackles for loss, sacks. You know, he's got our lone pick six, I believe, and so he's a key part of this defense.
Hope Nick Mcneil get well here on the sideline, possibly get back in the game, but he's not able to put much weight on that right leg. Hoping it's a cramp. Louisville, first down and 10, 7-10 remains. Why is the clock still going? After that was an injured play there. But two receivers to the left, one to the right. Hudspeth will run it, nowhere to run. Big Mon Cole.
Wonder why he's called Mon? That right there is it, isn't it? I mean, he found that little gap and
be a loss of 2.
Made him a little bit more and got back there and just made his presence known all night long.
And you know Louisville's going to wear down the clock on these plays here. 6:24 remains here in the football game. The Knights 14, Louisville 21. A little momentum, though, has shifted in the Knights' hands. Second down, 12 to go. Hudspeth in shotgun formation will call one of his receivers in motion. Looking to pass, got a receiver, and there's a flag on the field. It's going to stop the clock, or stop the play here. It's going to be against Louisville, I believe. Those are illegal motion here. Yeah, that's going to back the Wildcats up, and more importantly, it's going to stop the clock. Back them up to the 24-yard line. The clock restarts now. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Hudspeth hands off to James. James at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to run. Got a couple of yards on that. Bring up third down, 15 to go. 5:30 remains here in the game. Once again, that that timeout to begin the second half for the Knights. You go back to that. I hope it doesn't come back to haunt you.
On that play that I really have to, I just want to see how that would have unfolded. But like you say, that's a timeout that you may.
Not only this is a passing situation, but I'm not too sure you want to take a chance on stopping the clock if you're Louisville. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hudspeth in the shotgun, but they are going to attempt to pass. Going deep, got a receiver, and makes a connection. Does go out of bounds, but 4:51 remains here in the game, and that just took a lot out of the sails of the West Lauderdale Knight defense. Gets into Knight territory at the 43-yard line.
It did. When you're looking and you've got that momentum off that drive, and then something like this happens, it can break a spirit or it can make you tougher. So let's hope it makes them tougher.
Once again, 4:51 remains in this ballgame. 2 timeouts for West Lauderdale. Had a great opportunity right there to get the ball back. And see if the defense can hold up right here. First down and 10 as the Wildcats are in Knight territory. Handoff. Not going far, about a yard pickup. Going to bring up second down, 9 to go. Excuse me, 2-yard pickup, second down, 8 to go.
Yeah, the running game tonight has been interesting for Louisville.
I mean, even if the Wildcats don't get a first down here, if they take it all 4 downs, it will take it all the way inside 2 minutes.
It will. And then as you know,
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And handoff to number 23. Goes in motion to that far side. He's going to be near the sticks there. But I believe he's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 to go. So he got close to those sticks, and I thought 3rd down, 1 to go. 3:51 remaining. If he gets the first down, you pretty much say ball game. 21-14 is the score. In favor of the Wildcats. Ball is placed at the 35-yard line, just on the inside of the 35-yard line. But once again, they get a first down here. Knights have 2 timeouts, but Wildcats pretty much ice it. Handoff goes to number 9. Number 9 will not get the first down.
how about that defense?
Lost yardage on the play. Definitely Tyrone Shorter's going to go for it here. You're looking at, if you do make a stop, getting the ball back around just under 2.5 minutes. They're saying no gain on the play, no loss on the play as well. So 4th down, 1 to go. Think quarterback sneak here?
That's what I'm thinking.
4th down, 1 to go. Hudspeth under center. Hudspeth will turn around and pitch it off to number 25, and he will not get it. He will not get it. Well, the Louisville Wildcats are saying that he did. I don't see how you could get it. They're saying measure. They're going to be measuring here. James will have to go all the way across the field. I know we got our streaming crew right next to us. You can't zoom in over on the streaming thing, can you? Give us a good shot at that where that ball is placed.
You ain't saying they pull a little trickery on.
He got the first down. Nope, they have not pulled it. It's going to be short. No, they're saying he got it. They're saying he got the first down. I don't see how, but that should do it for the game, barring a miracle. I mean, I know we got the 2 timeouts, but I don't see how he made that corner.
confused on that one, and we do have video that.
I know that's all the way across the field, and I'm way up here in the stands, but I don't see how he made that call.
Yeah,
Knights will probably use their timeouts here. Hudspeth will go under center. High formation. Hudspeth gives it to number 9, I believe. Going to be met there at the line of scrimmage. And Knights have not elected to take a timeout yet. There will be a 1-yard loss. Second down and 11 for the Wildcats. 2:09 left here in the game. 21-14 in favor of the Wildcats. The Wildcats came out of the third quarter finding a little something.
yeah.
Both teams had just for over 80 yards in the first half each, and had a 7-7 tie going into halftime. But the Louisville Wildcats came up big with 2 scores in the third quarter, a 41-yard pass and a 55-yard pass to go up by two scores. Wildcats looking to pass here. That's kind of weird. Take a chance of stopping the clock, and stays in bounds, though. Connection is made. Third down. Brock Clay is begging for a timeout, and finally they give it to him. That was a good 3 or 4 seconds that ticked off that clock after Brock was saying timeout.
Yeah.
Clock is stopped. 1:27 remains. About third down and 6 to go for the Wildcats. Timeout on the field, but you got to be thinking now, if you are able to get the football back, you're going to be deep in your own territory. Got any trick plays up your sleeve?
You know, I was just sitting here wondering that.
And you're probably not going to have a timeout, because if they don't get the first down here, I don't think that Tyrone Shorter would put it in the air, but you never know. I'd love it if he does, so we can try to get an incomplete pass, stop the clock, but you would think he would go for it on fourth down as well.
Exactly.
Ball is placed on the inside of the 30-yard line, third down and 6. 1:27 remains in the football game. The Knights are down by 1 score, 21-14. Hudspeth is in the shotgun formation. He does have a back to his right. 2 receivers to the right, or excuse me, to the left and 1 to the right. Looking to pass, and he makes a completion. Incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock with 1:23 remaining, with 4th down and 6 to go.
Lee, that was pretty close to coming into the hands of a white jersey, wasn't it?
Absolutely. That was a dangerous play.
That's one of them kind of shockers, like you were talking about a few minutes ago with Coach Shorter, but wow, that could have been dangerous. Could have been a lot of fun, but
here we go. Wildcats have been successful on 4th down. Once again in shotgun formation. No, Hudspeth decides to go under center. Hudspeth turns around, puts it in the line, and first down is made plus more. Number 23 will get the handoff, and he is going to be near the 10-yard line, and that's the game killer right there. Triplett has been the player of the game this second half, and has put the Wildcats on his shoulder tonight.
yeah, he definitely has, and
guys, I know that you're not going to want to hear this at home, but there's a minute left. Definitely the Knights can't really do anything about this. The Wildcats have the ball just outside the 10-yard line, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Wildcats try to put up a score here.
yeah, and I mean it's district, and there's a lot of different things on the back burners here that
Hudspeth in the shotgun formation. Hands the ball off to number 9, James. And James trying to find him a hole run in, and nothing there. But and the timeout, West Lauderdale.
you kind of
31 seconds remain here. Once again, the score 21-14. Louisville, barring a miracle, will go 3-0 in district play. Be on top of the district
for the second straight year. Newly remodeled Region 4 4A.
Right. And this is
Did you think? I'm sorry, go ahead.
this is that time of year to where you really start looking at your points. It's been a weird year. Don't know what the rest holds. Like you said, we got 2 games to go, but it may come down to the point where you want them points. For one reason or another, I can't imagine why a scenario off the top of my head, but
Did you think at halftime or coming into the second half, did you think that you would see a 90, looking at the stats on the first half, did you think we'd see a 94-yard drive? Did you think we'd have a 55-yard pass touchdown, a 41-yard pass touchdown?
no, definitely not.
Victory formation for the Wildcats here. Smart thing to do. Kneel down. That should be it. Except the play clock was never reset, but there we go. That should be the last play of the football game. Knights will fall to 2-1 in region play, 5-3 overall in the 2020 season. While the Louisville Wildcats up their record to 6-1 and 3-0 in district play and sit on top of Region 4 4A for at least another week.
But Lee, I also have to say that coming into tonight, I don't know that many people thought that the game that we just witnessed was going to take place. You look at history, you look at past things, and we just saw an amazing ball game all the way around. And I don't believe that all the little things that when we go back and watch film, watch tape, and we start thinking about, like you said, the low yardage, the high yardage in the second half, I don't think a lot of people really realized that was going to be the outcome or the scenario for the night.
All right, 21-14 is your final. Louisville Wildcats defeats the West Lauderdale Knights, but next week we get to go back home, finally. Hopefully.
I was going to say, let's not jinx it now. But
Did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Never had that game. But anyway, the West Lauderdale Knights will return home next week against the Choctaw Central Warriors to continue region play. We'll be back once again. The final 21-14. Congratulations to the Louisville Wildcats. We'll be back with that post-game show being brought to you by Regions Bank, as well as Family Flea Market and Flooring, coming up next on Q101.